Close SportsPulse, USA Today Sports Lorenzo Reyes looks at 3 of the biggest stories NFL fans will watch unfold this offseason. USA Today Sports The NFL Scouting Combine can produce both clarity and complexity for the upcoming draft. For all 32 teams, this week's annual event in Indianapolis serves as a common ground for ascertaining measurables and on-field drill data on more than 300 prospects. Additionally, interview sessions will allow teams to glean insight on the players who could become prized picks in April. But this week is just part of a larger scouting picture, and franchises' outlooks will shift when free agency opens in March. With 2 months to go before the first round in Nashville, here's our latest mock draft. 1. Cardinals, Nick Bosa, Ohio State. This week will be the first opportunity for teams to get a look at Bosa since a core muscle injury shelved him for the season after 3 games, and he very well may firm up his status as the prohibitive favorite to be the top pick. His well-rounded athleticism and polished approach should set him apart from other top defenders in this class, though he can aid his case by displaying a bit more flexibility. Arizona is in need of cornerstones anywhere, and Bosa looks like the best bet in this class. 2. 49ers, Quinnen Williams, DT, Alabama. The Outland Trophy winner would be the 4th defensive lineman to be drafted by San Francisco in the first round since 2015, but the 49ers shouldn't constrain themselves on this pick. By adding the consistently disruptive Williams, general manager John Lynch can take another step toward establishing a front capable of setting the tone both against the pass and run. 3. Jets, Josh Allen, OLB, Kentucky. Gang Green might also be an apt nickname for New York's free agency mindset, as general manager Mike Maccagnan has pledged to be active in using the more than $100 million in projected cap space at his disposal. The Jets, however, shouldn't let the possible acquisition of a pricey pass rusher preclude the possible selection of Allen, a stack artist whose burst and build should translate favorably to the NFL. 4. Raiders, Ed Oliver, DT, Houston. If there weren't already enough intrigue surrounding a franchise that has 3 first-round draft picks, John Gruden amped up speculation about Oakland's plans late last week when he said there was a lot of potential for trades. For now, though, Oliver delivers on what the Raiders need most: pass rushing prowess. The undersized but swift interior disruptor might end up one of the combine's biggest standouts, as many of his testing marks could be well ahead of his positional peers. 5. Buccaneers, Jonah Williams, OT, Alabama. Even if Tampa Bay issues the franchise tag to left tackle Donovan Smith, Jameis Winston likely needs enhanced protection in order to thrive in Bruce Arians' downfield passing attack. Williams is perhaps the most polished pass protector in his class and would invigorate a dormant run game with his ability to consistently overpower defenders at the second level. 6. Giants, Dwayne Haskins, QB, Ohio State. If New York is prepared to pull the trigger on Eli Manning's eventual heir, can general manager David Gettleman afford to stand pat in this slot? An arms race for the draft's top quarterbacks could force the Giants' hand into trading up, should they zero in on one target. Haskins, who has both the physical tools and the confidence to make tight window throws, would be well positioned to take advantage of Odell Beckham Jr. and Saquon Barkley's peak years. 7. Jaguars, Drew Lock, QB, Missouri. Keep an eye on Jacksonville as a potential landing spot for Nick Foles, who would make sense as a starter-ready option for a franchise that doesn't seem particularly keen on waiting to resolve its issues behind center. Lock, however, could continue to amplify the buzz he built at the Senior Bowl by showing off his top-tier arm strength at the Combine. 8. Lions, Clelin Ferrell, Clemson. While Detroit has a pressing need to ramp up its pass rush, Matt Patricia seems to favor edge presences who aren't merely one-note. Enter Ferrell, an accomplished and studious lineman whose knack for disengaging blockers helps compensate for his shortcomings on pure speed. 9. Bills, Jawan Taylor, OT, Florida. Having taken quarterback Josh Allen in the first round last year, Buffalo is still building its offense from the ground up. After showing marked improvement last season and prototypical tools for a pass protector, Taylor could be in contention to become the first offensive lineman to be selected in April. 10. Broncos, Greedy Williams, CB, LSU, trading for 34-year-old Joe Flacco doesn't necessarily mean that Denver won't look to the draft for a long-term answer at quarterback, but the move reinforces that John Elway had focused more on winning now than mounting a full rebuild. Under defensive-minded first-year coach Vic Fangio, Williams can help curb opposing teams' downfield strikes. 11. Bengals, Devin White, ILB, LSU, it's long past time for Cincinnati to upgrade from Vontaze Burfict and the rest of a linebacking core that has been both carved up by running backs and exposed in coverage by opposing passing attacks. Still developing as he harnesses his aggressive approach, White can help turn the page in Cincinnati as the team embarks on a new era under first-year coach Zach Taylor. 12. Packers, Montez Sweat, OLB, Mississippi State. With Clay Matthews and Nick Perry's tenures in Green Bay possibly coming to a close, the Packers can't rely on another 10.5 sack season from Kyler Fackrell to power their pass rush. Picking up Sweat would give the team another forceful presence off the edge. 13. Dolphins, Daniel Jones, QB, Duke. If general manager Chris Grier jettisons veteran Ryan Tannehill, he'll have to choose whether to invest his top pick in a replacement or elect to find a bridge solution. As a kick-triggered passer best suited to work the short to intermediate levels of the field and execute run-pass options, Jones has some overlap with Tannehill in his skill set and could provide a smooth transition for the offense. 14. Falcons, Rashawn Gary, Michigan. Expect Gary to emerge as one of the combine's biggest standouts with rare marks for speed and agility. As the Falcons face the decision of whether to use the franchise tag on defensive tackle Grady Jarrett, the possibility of adding another flexible presence to the front four should be tantalizing. 15. Redskins, Kyler Murray, QB, Oklahoma. Now that he's declared himself all in for pursuing the NFL, Murray likely will command the biggest spotlight of any player at the Combine. The Heisman Trophy winner has yet to announce whether he will work out for scouts at the event, but his interview sessions alone will be key for teams that have any lingering concerns about his decision. With Alex Smith's status for 2019 still unclear, Washington shouldn't let any hope for a full recovery end the conversation on Murray or any other first-round quarterback. Follow Canada's lead. Why CFL might hold answer to an NFL problem playing tag. One franchise tag candidate for almost every NFL team. Football Fix. NFL news delivered to your inbox. 16. Panthers, Jachai Polite, OLB, Florida. While Carolina's shifting defense could use reinforcements at any number of positions, finding a replacement for Julius Peppers should be a top priority. Polite's explosiveness off the edge and growing set of pass rush moves would make him an attractive asset, especially if the unit ends up deploying more 3-4 looks. 17. Browns, Cody Ford, OT, Oklahoma. Going back to the Sooner pipeline could pay off for Cleveland as it looks to surround Baker Mayfield with support. The 6'4", 338-pound Ford will have to avoid the kind of combined performance that helped sink former Oklahoma offensive lineman Orlando Brown to the third round last year, but he's powerful and moves well for a player of his size. 18. Vikings, Andre Dillard, OT, Washington State. A fleet-footed left tackle, Dillard would allow Minnesota to move Riley Reiff to guard while forming one half of a promising pair of bookends with Brian O'Neill, the last year's second-rounder. 19. Titans, DK Metcalf, WR, Mississippi. Throwing yet another first-round pick at a wide receiver seems like a haphazard approach for Tennessee, which will need a more cohesive plan to help out Marcus Mariota. Metcalf, however, might be a significant part of the answer to opening up the offense with his rare blend of size, 6'4", 230 pounds, and speed. 20. Steelers, Devin Bush, ILB, Michigan. Overshadowed by the Antonio Brown trade speculation, Pittsburgh's defense still has a substantial hole at its center. Built for today's pass-happy NFL, the undersized Bush, 5'11", 226 pounds, darts from sideline to sideline with a keen sense for finding the ball. 21. Seahawks, Byron Murphy, CB, Washington. With an NFL low 4 picks throughout the 2019 draft, Seattle might be inclined to trade back or out of the first round to pick up more selections. If the Seahawks stay put, however, Murphy could become just the second defensive back drafted by the team in the first 4 rounds since 2010.22. Ravens, Marquise Brown, WR, Oklahoma. A Lisfranc injury will sideline Brown for on-field work during the Combine and his pro day, according to reports. Few receivers in the class, however, can match the 5'10", 168-pounder in generating explosive plays, so his first-round case should remain solid. 23. Texans, DeAndre Baker, CB, Georgia. Change is likely coming to Houston's secondary given the potential upheaval at cornerback beyond Jonathan Joseph. Baker possesses the savvy and quickness to take on a starting role early in his career. 24. Raiders, from Bears, Brian Burns, Florida State. At the top of his game, Burns is one of this class' most adept defenders at disrupting quarterbacks. Gruden in Oakland can utilize his speed off the edge while helping him fill out his frame and develop more of a plan with his pass rush. 25. Eagles, Christian Wilkins, DT, Clemson. Defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz's attacking front four would be a fitting match for Wilkins, a versatile lineman who makes a habit of making plays in the backfield. 26. Kelvin Harmon, WR, North Carolina State. A lackluster free agency class of receivers could further push to general manager Chris Ballard to the draft in the team's search for a complement to T.Y. Hilton, whose skill set Harmon would contrast well. 27. Raiders, from Cowboys, Josh Jacobs, RB, Alabama. Despite having to scrape for playing time at Alabama and finishing third on the team in rushing last year, Jacobs shouldn't be overlooked by NFL teams. He could help recalibrate a Raiders offense still looking to establish an identity. 28. Chargers, Jerry Tillery, DT, Notre Dame. He'll have to answer for his bouts of inconsistent play, but Tillery can shoot gaps and shed blockers with ease. He would be a boon for a Chargers defensive line that needs more from its interior. 29. Chiefs, Nasir Adderley, Delaware. A former cornerback who now blankets the back end of the field, Adderley demonstrates a capacity for sound coverage that would be put to immediate use in Kansas City's floundering pass defense. 30. Packers, from Saints, TJ Hawkinson, Iowa. More than just a check-down option, Hawkinson is a well-rounded threat who could help Aaron Rodgers rediscover the utility of a consistent tight end. 31. Rams, Mack Wilson, ILB, Alabama. Wade Phillips' defense could use some more athleticism at the second level, and Wilson should be poised to make a significant leap once he hones his instincts. 32. Patriots, Noah Fant, Iowa. In lieu of the outside threat New England needs, Fant can slide in as a dynamic pass catcher who can split out wide and eventually take over for Rob Gronkowski. Follow Michael Mittelhurst Schwartz on Twitter at @McKempSchwartz. If you love talking football, we have the perfect spot for you. Join our new Facebook group, The Ruling Off the Field, to engage in friendly debate and conversation with fellow football fans and our NFL insiders.